Yes, this was a very competitive 4-year-old maiden. There were 3 or 4 coming to the last with every chance here. A horse called Kindly Prince had made the running in maroon colours, and he was still in front when he fell at the last and had jumped and travelled well and looks a nice horse. Aaron Murphy was aboard him. Right behind him was a horse called Big Pipe No Tobacco. He'd run well a couple of times. I think we've seen him on this section once or twice, running into a place and falling, going well. He came down at the last, and right behind them was a horse that was left at the start called No Secrets Here, made up a lot of ground, and he was a close third with a chance. So the first 3 came down, and that left Backdoor Johnny, who was coming down the inside on his own and out of harm's way, to come through and win. Now, when you describe it that way, it might sound like Backdoor Johnny was going to be a bad fourth. I don't think he was. He was only a couple of lengths down. He was plotting a very straight course to the line. Hard to say he would have won or anything like it, but he was going to run a very, very solid race, and I'd say he's a grand horse. He's capable of winning his races. We've seen him before, finishing third here behind Old Grange Wood, who's been second since. And he was 5th behind Big Meadow, who we thought a lot of a couple of weeks ago, and reigning supreme, beating 35 lengths. So that gives them further, it enhances their chances of being good further, because he was a long way behind them. But Backdoor Johnny will be fine in his own right. He's from the family of Mac George, Chief Dan George. He's trained by Paul Nolan, and he's by Western out of a Supreme Leader mare, so he'll win his races. He maybe was fortunate here, to be fair, but he was running a solid race. He'll be fine.
OK, Backdoor Johnny, the first of those. And the second horse we'll look at this week, well, you touched on the drama that was to unfold, and this is an extraordinary race to have a look back on. This is Manella Bow.
This is barely believable. I mean, this has gone onto social media and it's gone borderline viral. A loose horse just came across him and just took him completely off the course and effectively finished his race, you would think. And for whatever reason, the rider and the rider of the other horse decided to continue, and they gradually crept their way back into the race, and this fella's been able to recover the ground, and they weren't going all that steady up front, so it was a big effort to get there. Star Tackle got there as well, the Andrew Slattery horse, but Manella Bow, who we saw here a couple of weeks ago, we thought they'd gone and quickened a little early in Boulta a couple of weeks ago in what looked a very, very good maiden. He was only beaten 3/4 of a length there. So he's gone from running a big race in Boulta a couple of years ago. They're only 4-year-old, they're only babies yet. That was on the 22nd of November. He's had a hard race. He comes back 2 weeks later. He gets carried off the track, and then he comes out and he wins with all that's gone wrong, and wins a good, comfortable 2 lengths. You can't compliment a horse highly enough for what he's had to do over the course of the last 3 weeks and still come out a winner. He's by King's Theatre, which is a help. He's out of a Pistol Blue mare. She's a winner. The dam, I think, is a half-sister to My Will, Union East. He's a half-brother to a 143 rated horse. Whichever way you come at this, there's signals pointing to this being a very, very, very exciting horse. Yeah.
Yeah, it was extraordinary to watch, carried out but still managing to win. That was Manella Bow. What have we got to look forward to this weekend, Richard? Where are we pointing? 2
meetings this weekend. Early starts, 11:30 at Boulta. They get under 11:30, and we've a big entry at Carlow at Boris House on Sunday, so it's been pushed back to an 11 o'clock start, so we'll all be there by 10 o'clock to get our declarations in and get racing. So up early Sunday morning, and plenty more to show you next week, hopefully.
Good stuff.